Yes, those meme coins get stranger and stranger names. We had Fartcoin, we had Cockino, now Tits are up. Yes, have a look at this chart. The Wheel of Tits token went up by 44% in the last 24 hours, which is mainly due to a buyer overhang of 71%. The buying volume versus selling volume is 52 versus 48%. It's mainly a lot of small buyers on-chain that are getting into the token. Now in this video, we want to look at more on-chain data. We want to figure out how much longer this rally can last and at what point in time it might make sense to take profit. Now the long-term chart of Tits looks pretty smooth, right? It looks like it was smooth sailing, some kind of dormancy at the beginning, and now we are taking off. But this is actually not what happened. Once we see the logarithmic chart, we see an absolute roller coaster ride. From top to bottom, Tits went down by 92% temporarily. And so are we going to see another 92% crash, or will this rally last for a bit longer? Let's have a look. I say it time and time again, but probably I don't have to say it here. The website, of course, does not provide any valuable information to figure out where the highs and lows of this token might be. It's an interesting distraction, but that's about it. Let's compare social metrics. So over here, we've got 5,000 Twitter followers roughly. In Telegram, we've got 3,300 members. And on-chain, we've got 14,000 holders of Tits. Now let's get into the details, right? Let's have a look at what the adoption metrics actually are. On the left side, we see the number of new users versus recurring users. On the right side, we see the number of token transactions per day. And yes, we do see how the number of first-time traders tends to somewhat rise, but the number of recurring traders also is pretty high. This is not necessarily that great, because what we want to see is something like here at the beginning, right? We want to see an overhang of first-time traders. We want to see a growing investor base. Now here's what's impressive. On a logarithmic scale, we had our nice pump and dump already. Now we are pumping way further. On a linear scale, we see how different the magnitude here was. This is the trading volume in the early days. This is the trading volume today. And with that second wave, we now see that the larger wallets tend to get into the token as well. Now, large wallets is everything between $10,000 and $100,000 worth of the token. Most trading volume now happens with wallets between $1,000 and $10,000 worth. And so the whales, they pocketed a lot of the tokens already early on, and they kept on holding. The small retail investors, they are now jumping in much more. So this time we do the thresholds not based on US dollars, but based on the number of tokens. So on the left side, it's a minimum holding of 3,000 tokens in order to be counted in this chart. So that's what I consider a small retail. That's roughly $1,000 worth of the token. For the chart in the middle, it's another 10x. So that's a minimum holding of $10,000. And on the right side, another 10x. So $100,000 worth of the token at current prices again. So small retail didn't buy that much at the beginning, but the big whales, they did buy. The real explosion of small retail accounts happened just recently. And yes, there are still whales that are buying in. The number of whales is going up, but the whales are smart, right? They buy when the token is just a few cents. They buy less when the token is way larger. And so there's a real shift in ownership happening. The percent of tokens that are held by the people that have at least $10,000 worth of the token continues to grow very quickly. So at least 10,000 is large retail. Whales is at least 100,000. 95% of tokens are now held by those large wallets. This is not how it used to be. The big whale wallets now hold more than 200 million worth of the token, while the small retail investors that have less than $1,000 worth of the token only hold 1.8 million worth. And so the whales are pushing up Tits, the whales are pushing up that price, and that's of course because the crypto market as a whole is expanding. So this is the stablecoin market cap over time, and when this tends to go up, then crypto prices also tend to increase, and when it tends to go down, then crypto prices tend to do not that well. What we see over here, this turnaround, this was the collapse of Terra Luna, of the Anchor protocol. This is when UST depegged. During this downtrend, we also had the collapse of FTX, and then we saw the turnaround in October of 2023. So this is when I closed all of my short positions. I was shorting a lot of altcoins around this time. I was betting on falling prices, and since October of last year, I am buying a lot. Now the big question is always, how can we get those kinds of tokens when they are still cheap? For example, how can we buy something like Cerebro before it doubles within a week? Because I made a video on Cerebro and nobody watched it, right? It underperformed your average video. So the average video is in gray and that Cerebro video is in blue. But at the time, the price was at 7 cents and now it's at 45 cents. And so that's the dilemma with YouTube, right? When you make a video about a token with a lot of upside potential that's not yet that well known, then nobody will watch it and the YouTube algorithm won't spread the video. If a token, however, has already a large investor base and the upside potential might not be that high anymore, that's then the time when YouTube shows it to everyone. So if you don't want to miss the next video on a small token, feel free to subscribe over here and especially hit the notifications, because again, the YouTube algorithm probably won't show you the small videos. Now here is how I found out about Cerebro at 7 cents. I got a notification in our wallet tracking. Kyle Chessy bought the token for 7 cents. And again, since then, we went up by roughly 500%. And so here's Kyle Chessy. He's got 136,000 subscribers. And through on-chain analytics, we found 12 of his wallets. And so I believe this is an approach that in general works pretty well. It's trying to find wallets of other influencers. It's trying to find wallets of insiders. It's trying to find wallets of top traders that tended to make good trades in the past and then just emulate them, right? Get signals whenever they buy and sell and then take that as inspiration. Here, have a look at this channel. This is Crypto Banter. They've got more than 1 million subscribers. When they talk about a token, of course, this generates a lot of attention, and that attention at least partially transfers into purchases. We have got 33 of Crypto Banter's wallets. But check this out. This is Alex Becker, 1.5 million subscribers. And we've got 12 of his wallets. And so I really like this approach. I like it much more than just picking a random token in a list. I think it's better to look at the people that already make money and then emulate their performance. That's why I made a dedicated tutorial section just on this topic. So how can we find various influencer wallets? How can we then get alerts for those wallets? And how can we finally also interpret the alerts that we get from the wallet tracking? It's all part of the premium membership of this channel that's down below, thebitcointrader.com. It's not just about wallet tracking, right? It's also about on-chain analytics, so the charts that we looked at today. It's also about risk mitigation. It's about portfolio diversification. It's about indicator backtesting. There's all kinds of topics. It's more than 100 tutorial videos in total. So once we've got a wallet signal, we of course also have to discuss when should we buy, when should we sell. We have to compare our on-chain analytics. That's why we've got dedicated chats on the individual altcoins as well. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $125 per month. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, in case you don't make money, in case you don't learn anything, just message me within the first 7 days and I'll refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. So could Tits go higher? Yes, it could definitely go higher, but it probably won't go beyond 3x from here because there is somewhat of a limit at roughly 1 billion market cap. Very few Pump.fun ecosystem tokens go beyond that. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I publish this regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in the next video or see you in premium. Cheers.